Hi, hi, how y'all doing? It is May the 12th, 2025, here in Ontario, Canada. The skies are blue with that white lines through it. They've spread out though, right? um, I haven't made a video for a couple of days because I've had people around, right? I've been busy. My daughter stopped on Mother's Day. She surprised me all the way from Ottawa. But I told you that, I think, right? Or did I? I don't know. So, yeah, I did that, right? Visited her and my granddaughter and her daddy. And, yeah, just strange energy. The full moon, right? Schuman yesterday was 11, so that's down from the 69 the day before that, right? So watch his stuff on Burns, and he said, or showed that there was filaments that were blasted off the sun about 5 hours ago, so 5 o'clock in the rise, something like that. Depends where you are in the world, you know. But here it would have been about 5 o'clock. Um, I had a rough couple of nights trying to sleep. Boy, my foot, my leg twisting up so bad, cramping. Right, I have not got a lot of sleep, so if I look a little bit haggard, that's why. Um, Last night was the worst. That full moon just kicked my ass. Let me tell you, I've been seeing the moon all week too, right? Which is unusual. But yeah, at first it started off like kind of a yellowy color and then it phased out. It was like blurred out, but there was a clear sky. So I don't get that. That's why I think they were spraying last night, doing their thing. Um, but yeah, then I laid down to go to bed, stayed up past my bedtime, laid down, and I could hear something rumbling, and there was a vehicle beside the house for about an hour. It bothered my son too, right? And finally I sat up because I was cramping, and I was looking out the window, and the ambulance pulled out. So it was the full moon after all. People get sick, people go crazy, right? My neighbor there that borrowed that money off me said she'd pay me back, then didn't. Knocked on my door last night when I was just about to have my dinner and wanted to cry the blues to me, right, on how bad her life is. She told me another great big story, right? She said, "I got some weed if you want, if you can buy it, or I'll sell it because I'm so sorry I can't pay you back, right?" And I looked at her. Her eyes, she was not in good shape, right? For some reason, her eyes were really big, and outside of her eyes, around her lid, was all red, right? And she got a weird look to her. And so I was like, "Yeah, no, I don't need any. I have lots, right?" And she was like, "Oh, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry." I said, "How about you just get your shit together and worry about paying me back later?" "Okay, okay." And away she went. She only came for money, right? She wanted to see how far she could dig into my pocket. But fool me once, shame on you. So, yeah, fool me twice, shame on me. I ain't doing that. So, she's an addict, right? I've heard two stories about what happened to her, and then I was telling my sister. She called me on the phone last night because she had to wanted to borrow my truck today, and because her brakes seized, and she told me a totally different story when I told her what happened. Because I told this woman, "You don't pay me," and I'm telling everybody, "You owe me money, and don't lend you money because you don't pay back," right? My sister told me, "Oh, I seen her sister on online on Facebook, and they were wondering where she was and all this, right? I guess she was stuck in the crack motel for 7 days and left her children at home alone. That's why the CAS got involved, right? Took the young one, my buddy. So, yeah, that happened, right? I was in for no bullshit yesterday, though, really. And I had already learned my lesson from the first time. After she left, it happened so fast, and then she's gone, I put it together, you know what I mean? I was like, dang. But yeah, that's what I mean, fool me once. My son had his friend over. I had to drive him to Gravenhurst last night, town over. That was okay. I haven't been for a drive for a while. My son came with. I asked him to, right? I just didn't feel like driving home alone. So, yeah, the energy yesterday was whack. I couldn't believe the Schuman was only at 11, right? It was really strange. Did you feel it? I went shopping yesterday too, in the rise before anything else happened. So, a lot of tension in my body. It's still cramping. I only had like 4 hours sleep last night in between waking up with the cramps. I realized something too when I was coming home last night. Sorry, I dropped something. Um, I caught the sunset when I was driving. It was the first time I've seen the sunset in years. I'm talking years, right? And it was such a pretty golden orange color, right? And I was like, does sunset always look like that, Donnie? And he's like, yeah, sometimes it doesn't, right? And I was like, it's just been a really long time. He says, yeah, it has for you, hey. I was like, yeah. And then because I couldn't sleep last night, I woke up like 5 o'clock with a cramp and I sat up. It was light out and I looked and it was sunrise. And I was like, cool. I got to see the sunset and the sunrise, which I haven't seen in a while. It's not the same sunrise like the sunset would have been because I got to wait for it to come over the hill because I'm stuck in a valley, right? So that was different. I've seen lots of crows or ravens. I'm not sure which one. I couldn't see their beak flying around yesterday on my drive to the next town, right? So that was nice. I got to see how the ice damage had broken a lot of the tops of the trees and everything, right? Because there's a lot of woods around here. So, yeah, I'm still feeling icky today. I don't know what's going on. I was thinking too, I was watching stuff on birds and he was showing this filaments coming off of the sun that blasted off 5 hours ago. And all this energy affects us. We don't know what it is. It's what we've been told is the sun and all that shite, right? And they showed no, corona holes, right? In the sun, great big ones. And they looked exactly to me like what happened when I was looking at that app in what, 2010, 20, something like that. And maybe it was earlier than that. I don't know. I had the Sun app and I was watching it. Remember I told you? And seeing something like a big machine go in and scoop out a part of the sun. And then there was just an empty hole with, black and stars behind it through the sun. Well, that's what these coronal holes look like. I think they've been doing it all along. But they've given them a name now, right? For the geophysicists and all those educated people, right? To believe their lies, their doctrine. But I thought, wow, I wonder what they're doing with the sun, whatever the sun is, what we've been told is the sun, right? It's weird. And the filaments look like ships being blasted off from the surface of whatever it is. But you gotta look on the bigger part of the picture, you know what I mean? In the dark and stuff, you see different stuff that's around it. People are being really strange out there. My daughter mentioned it when she was here too. She didn't get the job. My sister mentioned it, right? She didn't get it either. People are getting really strange. And I found it too, right? Weird. To stick to your own vine and fig tree, you know? Be with yours. The ones you can trust, I'd say. All right. Hopefully this cramping energy goes away. I really need to have a nap, but I don't think my body will even let me lay down without it cramping up. I've been fighting it off all rising, sitting in the chair, trying to make my ankle crack because it relieves pressure, right? Because when it cramps up, I can't even bend my foot, like that kind of thing. So I have to do that. try to get it to crack, and then it releases. It's weird. My sister says she's been cramping up too. So, these Ascension symptoms are weird, aren't they? They really are. Okay, my anxiety is high today too. I notice the palms of my hands are sweating. I wonder what that's about. The energy? Because I didn't get enough sleep? I don't know, right? But it's okay. This too shall pass. It will. And everything always changes. Every day, I'm stronger than the day before. Every day, I am better than the day before. Every day, I have more to be grateful for than the day before. I love you all as a consciousness. Enjoy this night or day. Okay? Okay. Bye.